Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be going over Jojo hot takes from the subreddit r/stardustcrusaders. I think I've got a decently sized amount of picks, and looking back at most of them, I realise I agree with quite a few of them. So without further ado, let's get started. The first hot take reads, Caesar's death wasn't sad, and he was an annoying character most of the time. Personally, I agree with this take. People always act like Joseph and Caesar were really close, but they weren't. They were always at each other's throat for most of the part. I will admit though that Caesar's sacrifice was worth it and his death scene was good, but it never really brought any emotions out of me. The next one reads, Hermit Purple is not the weakest stand, and again I agree, but I think that this take is more cold as it's pretty obvious, considering stands like Survivor and Cheap Trick exist. I think people only say Hermit Purple is the weakest stand because that's what Dio said to Joseph, but that isn't a solid way to determine if a stand is weak or not, considering Dio has not seen every stand in existence. Moving on, this next one also involves Joseph, and it reads, Joseph is overrated. He's fun, but he's outclassed by many other Jojos. This is another one I agree with. I admit he's overrated. People act like he's deeply written and has unexplored themes. He's a good character, don't get me wrong, but nearly every Joestar after part 2 is written better than Joseph. The next hot take reads, Part 3 crew has the best chemistry. And I disagree with this. I personally think that part 4 or 5 has the best chemistry, but the reason I don't think part 3 does is because some of the group barely interacts. Iggy basically only interacted with Polnareff, and Avdol almost never interacted with Kakyoin or Jotaro. It's a good group, I'm not going to lie, but I can't sit here and act like they interacted with one another all of the time. This next one reads, Alessi making Joseph young again would have been cheap fan service, and I'm happy it didn't happen. I totally agree with this take. I don't know why people wanted Joseph to have more fights in part 3, when he's not supposed to be the main focus anymore. It's like Joseph fanboys couldn't accept he was no longer the main character. This was a great take that I wish more people agreed with. These next two go hand in hand, so I'll do them both at once. The first one reads, Hammond Beat is the worst thing that's ever happened to this community. And the second one reads, the fandom is crap. And the reason why I believe they go hand in hand is because Hammond Beat has made the fandom better. Before Hammond Beat, there was more misinformation spread in the community than ever. Hammond Beat has helped stop the spread of misinformation and help people understand certain things about the series. So I disagree with the first take, and I only semi-agree with the second, as there are definitely still bad fans out there, like the pro shippers and the toxic fans, but every fandom has those, so you can't really just complain about the JoJo's fanbase. The next one reads, Bloody Stream is overrated. I agree, it's a good opening and was my favourite, but it's overplayed and there are definitely better openings, like Chase and Fighting Gold, just to name a few. I know that this is more of a subjective take than the others, but I just couldn't help but agree with it. And the final take for this video reads, If Phantom Blood was longer, it would be one of the best parts. I will admit, I'm biased towards this take, as I personally loved part 1. The aesthetic, the characters, the side villains, all of it. I'm also a sucker for zombies and vampires, so that was just a bonus point. But I do agree, if part 1 was longer, it would be so much better. Hamon could have been explored to its fullest potential, so I wholeheartedly agree with this take. Well, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Also, let me know what you think of these takes down below in the comments. Also, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.